Hey everyone!
Hey, hey, hey! Welcome to After Hours here at Linda's Electric Quilters.
Yay!
We are super excited that you are joining us this evening.
Yes.
We have a fun-filled schedule planned out for you.
Yeah, as you can tell, we're going to talk about t-shirt quilts. And we have a special guest that does this all the time.
Yes.
And she's going to show us the steps from the pile of the t-shirts all the way to actually kind of piecing some together and then give a bunch of her tips. So we can't wait for that. But
Definitely.
before we bring her in, what do?
We wait a couple of seconds.
No.
I don't know. What do we do?
We ask a question.
Oh, the question. Well, no, we don't do the question yet.
What do we do?
Where have you been? Have you not been in any of these videos lately?
Sometimes I feel like I'm sleeping through them. No, I'm just joking.
You're sleeping
I'm just joking.
She's sleeping through them, y'all.
I am
She
not. This is
sleeping
the
through
best
them.
part of my week. It literally is the best part of our
week. I look forward
week.
to this, and I look forward to teaching classes. This is
Yeah.
fun. So always, before we get started, make sure you subscribe to our channel. So
Yep.
it's going to be right down at the bottom right-hand corner.
And there.
After you click on that subscribe button, make sure you click on the little bell that shows up so you can get notified whenever we post new videos or whenever we go live here at After Hours.
Whoop,
So
whoop.
please make sure you do subscribe. It means a lot for us. It is free to subscribe.
Yes.
So make sure you do that, and make sure you give this video a big thumbs up.
And share with your friends.
Definitely.
If you see a video that you think they might be
Totally
interested
just
in.
kicked
Oh, especially like something like this that is like a wide range of crafters and piecers and quilters.
Right.
Share it with your friend. Give them a chance to learn too and have fun with us. Okay. So,
Okay.
really quick, we also want to make sure if you watched last week's video, we had a lot of giveaways by
did.
Linda Taylor via Harry Wallner.
Mhm.
So check your inbox. We have emailed everybody that won. We've
So
had a few people
congratulations to the
respond.
winners. Yay.
But if you won, email me back.
Wow.
I'm trying to put those
you
words
really
in.
built up to that, and then bam. Very anticlimactic, but it's fine. She got really in, and then boom.
Yeah, no, I'm just super
Da-da-da-da-da,
excited.
email
I'm
me
super
back.
excited. But yeah, we had 10 giveaways, and so just check your inbox, and you might have been one of the winners.
If you didn't get a chance to catch that video, it is on our channel.
Yes.
Linda talked about all sorts of different whole cloth patterns, some really, really cute designs, so make sure you go and check that out along with all the other videos that we have done as well.
Yes, of course.
Okay, so what's
right.
next? What are we doing?
Okay,
oh, you
so-
have to answer your question. You have to ask your question. I
Oh,
thought you
yeah,
asked
yeah,
it
yeah.
already.
So the question is going to be super easy.
Okay.
Have you ever made a t-shirt quilt? And if you haven't, do you want to make a t-shirt quilt?
So you get to answer the question first.
I have never made a t-shirt quilt,
Okay.
and I have Chantelli to make them for me.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
No, I don't know. I'm thinking after I watch her tonight, I might be able to do this.
Well, she kind of shared with us the process. We kind of knew where things needed to be, and I was like, oh, that isn't as intimidating as I thought it was.
I know,
going
me
to
too.
be.
No, so I was like, okay, maybe I will try, maybe like on a small scale.
Yeah.
So after watching this, so yeah, we'll see. Maybe we'll have to do a segment of us trying to make t-shirt quilts.
That'll be funny. So my answer for the question would be I have not made a t-shirt quilt. I've had some made for me, but I've never made one. And yes, I would like to make one.
Yeah.
So there's my answer for that.
Yeah, I could see you making a really cool one and have all kinds of spin on it. Like different designs
Oh,
and like,
yeah.
like different things to it, yeah.
My mind started creating things.
I know it did.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so let's tell a little bit about our special guest.
Okay, so our special guest is the owner and founder of Shoshana Lace Creations.
Yes.
Her name is Chantelli, or also known as Auntie. She is my aunt.
And my sister.
And mom's sister and cousin's mom, and it's just a whole thing. It's a family
It's a
affair.
family
here.
affair,
It's a
yeah.
thing. And so she has been at this for quite some time.
She has been.
And so she's gotten really, really good at placing these t-shirts and adding in fillers, and she's got so many different tips for you that I would have never even thought of.
Exactly.
So this will be really, really good. Watch through the whole thing to see all these little tips to build this amazing t-shirt quilt.
Yeah.
And it's only a few simple steps.
Yeah, it really
Doesn't
is.
take a whole lot to it.
And she's going to show you each step.
Every single step.
So without further ado,
Let's bring on in
bring her
Chantelli.
in.
Come on in,
come
Auntie.
on. Yeah, come on
She's
in.
like, which stage?
Which way go? Which way?
side?
I know. I was like, I don't know which side to
Which
go.
side would be easier? Yeah.
Come on
Okay.
in, right here
Come
to
on
the
to
middle.
center.
All
So
righty.
say hello to everybody.
Hi, everyone.
All righty. So, Chantelli, we are super excited to see the process that you do when you're making your t-shirt quilts. I know you said you wanted to show kind of from step one, grabbing the pile of t-shirts. So the first thing you do is go gather a bunch of t-shirts,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Okay. And then after you gather the t-shirts and you're ready to go with that, what is your next step?
Okay. So the next step is I lay them out and I cut them
Okay.
first.
Okay.
And so I'm going to kind of go through that process and show them how to cut it and then go to the stabilizing and then you know, step-by-step kind of thing
Yeah.
Awesome.
to help out. And the way I do it doesn't mean that's the way everybody does it.
Yeah.
But somebody out there might do it the same way. So
Hey, they
there's
might
not
pick up
a
tip or
wrong
different
way.
things.
Yep,
That's
there's
good.
not a wrong way. So she's showing her tips the way that she does it, and she's had success with it, just to kind of share with you. But there's all kinds of ways out there.
Yes.
Okay.
So,
ahead.
before we're getting started, I know you said grab a big pile of T-shirts.
Yes.
Oh.
What would you quote out, like T-shirt wise? Not price. That was not quote. But how many T-shirts would you expect, or like would you want to? What am I trying to say? You know what I'm trying to say.
Okay.
How many T-shirts do you need to build a
Yes.
quilt? That's what I'm trying to say.
So it all depends on the size of quilt that you want. But
Okay.
a good average is 20 shirts.
Okay.
You can make that as up to twin size, all the way up to queen size, depending if you have sashing, borders,
Got it.
if it's
Okay.
going to be 12 inches, 15 inches, 8 inches. Like, it just really depends on how you want to have it set up.
Okay.
Cool.
So, but a 20 shirts is a really good amount of shirts.
And
Yeah.
if you were taking shirts to someone to make the
Mm-hmm.
quilt, would you cut them first, or would you just send them all the shirts and say do it?
Send them all the shirts and say do it.
Okay.
Because we'll go down,
We'll
the,
go down
line
the line,
and
okay.
explain why.
Yeah.
But-
so don't pre-cut the shirts.
Don't pre-cut the
You're sending it
shirts.
off to somebody.
Yes,
Okay.
just
Okay.
send the shirts the way
Awesome.
they are.
Okay. Well, take us through your process step by step. We can't wait to see it.
All righty.
Okay. So, first, I get all the shirts. You used to have the design on the front. I'll lay them out. And then, this is an easy way that I have realized how to cut them. And so, after doing it for so many years, I used to actually cut these by hand with scissors and stuff. So, I have done it the hard way. And so, I usually cut out the arms first. And then I'll go to the top and cut the tops off. Because you got to realize this is just extra stuff that you're not going to use. You don't need any of it, so it doesn't have to be.
Layers at this point.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I'll go down the sides. The trickiness on the sides is if it has seams, make sure you go on the seams.
Okay.
If it doesn't, just try to level it out the best way you can, because you never know what part of the shirt you are going to be using.
Gotcha.
And the one thing I've learned is after I cut the small pieces I toss, but the bigger pieces I keep,
Okay.
because you never know if you might need those later.
You might make an accidental cut somewhere you need to fill it in, or sizes of T-shirts aren't right perfectly, or
Yeah.
wherever that goes there.
So,
Cool.
so we have that in
Oh, there you go.
Oh, all separated, and then that goes under your
all
list there.
separated, and there you go. You
Okay.
have the top of the shirt, and then the rest is kind of discarded.
Okay.
Next, after that, I'll go to stabilize it first.
Okay, so why do you stabilize it first instead of cutting your square?
Because if you cut your square first, your stabilizer is actually wider than your square,
Okay.
and then your stabilizer will stick down to, if you're ironing it or if you're using a press,
Oh.
it literally sticks. So say I have this square like this,
Uh-huh.
and I have a stabilizer that's this size, and I use this iron to press it down.
Okay.
I'm actually pressing it down to the side of the ironing board.
Oh, okay.
I
So,
see.
and then you basically gonna have to pull it up, and
Okay.
you're ripping it at the same time.
Okay, got it.
So when it's like this, most stabilizers are set at 22 inches.
Okay.
Okay.
So,
Awesome.
All right, perfect. Sorry, just had asking questions. I
no,
don't know.
that's totally fine.
All righty.
Okay, so there are two methods that you can to stabilize them. Normally, the front goes down face, and then you would lay the stabilizer on top. Sorry, move this out of the way. It's like,
You're good.
I have it set up for the press. You basically put the stabilizer on top of what you want stabilized. So, oh, sorry.
You're good.
Hey.
Is that better?
You're fine.
Put it on top what you want stabilized. Now, you can't iron it like a normal iron like this. You actually need to press it down and hold it for a few seconds and do that in each area.
Is there a right or wrong side for that stabilizer?
There is.
Okay.
And you can feel on the stabilizer that this is a smooth side and this is the prickly side.
Okay.
So there is a right or wrong. You want the prickly side to go face down onto the shirt. The smooth side is going to be on the top that you can touch.
Good tip. Good tip.
Yes. So
Okay.
basically that's what you do when you do it that way. You just kind of take this around a few seconds at a time and then hold it down.
So that's with an iron. So if you
That's
have a
with an
press,
iron.
what would you do with the press?
Okay. With the press, I would. We already have the press turned on. I have it set for 275 for 20 seconds.
Okay.
So kind of give an idea. Every press is different. That's just how I work with my press. I have, also, there is a piece, like, it could be parchment paper, or it can be, this paper happened to come with my press, so I use this. And it helps with the t-shirts that have, this has, what's that called?
It's like
embroidery.
Yeah. Embroidery.
I was like, what's the word? It has
Embroidery.
embroidery on it.
Yeah.
So that's not going to stick to the press. But if it has basically vinyl, yes. Thank you. I know. I'm like that thing right there. So then you're going to want this down and put the t-shirt on top of it.
Okay.
So the vinyl doesn't stick to the press.
Okay.
And so what I do is I had it kind of already set up. Where'd it go? There you go. I put this underneath, and as you can see, my press is 15 by 15.
Okay.
So every press has different sizes. That one's kind of worked for me. Obviously, it's hot, so I have a little thing up here that helps me push it down.
Oh, you put a little hot pad on there.
Yes.
That's a good idea.
Normally, I can lock it, but it's only for a few seconds, so I'm not going to lock it. I'm just going to hold it down, and then.
This is about 20 seconds.
Yes, it's 20 seconds. I have it set for, and you hear the loud beep 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 beep.
Well, that's cool.
So.
Well, I like you said, the little tip about adding the hot pad there.
Yes.
So, there we go.
And there you go. You see, it is
All stuck on, ready to
all
go.
stuck on, stabilized, and then you take the scissors and you cut it off.
Awesome. So I like how you're not cutting the stabilizer first.
Yes.
Just using what you've got there, so it kind of saves to that.
It does,
Saves.
because there's a lot of times that you will, if you cut the stabilizer ahead of time and you don't use it, you're wasting your stabilizer.
Right. So since you're here talking about stabilizer, we have
Yeah.
a couple of questions.
Yeah.
What weight stabilizer or what stabilizer are you using right now? Either one of those.
I use the light, is it the light?
Yeah, the Pelon Lightweight.
Yes,
Fusible interfacing, which
Yeah.
we do have on our website.
yes.
So you can find that on our website.
Alrighty, go ahead. You keep going.
Okay, and so after that, I will take the shirt
Okay.
and I put it down here, and then I decide, depending on how big the picture is, what size I'm going to cut it into.
Okay.
And so these have been helpful little templates for me,
Okay.
if I can get them.
Alrighty.
So this is a 15-inch template,
Okay.
and then it actually has 12, oh, it's 15 and a half, because
Yeah.
you know the quarter-inch
Yeah.
seam. Has 12 and a half and 10 and a half as well. That normally you can take a pen if you wanted that size and just go like this
Okay.
through it,
Uh-huh.
and then use your straight ruler and cut it.
Oh, that's cool. We might have to start getting those and selling them.
So yeah, this
That's
is
kinda
it's t-shirt transformation shirt.
Yeah.
So this
All
is
right.
the one I use the most of,
Okay.
because it's a perfect 12 and a half by 12 and a half.
Okay.
And then I kind of even it out. I always go up as high as I can to get as much as I can. And then I'll take
The rotary cutter.
the rotary cutter.
Okay.
And
Now, do you find that the Pelon Lightweight stabilizer is just better to use, or
I
you've
do.
enjoyed it? Because you probably have tried different ones, right?
I have, and this
Okay.
tends to be the one that is, it's washable. You can use it in the, what do you call it? In the, what is that thing called?
That's okay. The dryer?
Yes,
It's okay.
I'm sorry.
Breathe. We've got her nervous. She's not something that she does all the time. Okay, I'll let you finish cutting.
Okay.
Keep your train of
And
thought.
so you can, it depends on how big. If you want to have it this size, you could do a 12 by 12 size,
Okay.
or like you could go up and make it a smaller size. And
Yeah.
that's what I use like these for. I can make this a smaller size. It
Oh,
really
okay.
just depends on the size of quilt that they want and what you're trying to do. You can also go all the way down to the end of the stabilizer and cut it that way as well.
Okay.
So, because there's a lot of times I'll use this extra stuff inside the quilt. So, but so I just line it up and then I cut the bottom. And then see, you have this on the back of it. So this stuff I tend to use later on in the process.
So you try to repurpose as much as possible.
Yes, I do.
Okay, perfect. Alrighty. So now that you have basically a shirt done, we were going to try to piece them together. Do we need to do the other two shirts?
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah. We'll go ahead and get the
We'll just
other.
knock these out
you've
really quick
done-
while you're talking.
So you've done that one. I want to try one real quick.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
go for it.
I want to try the idea that you've just.
Yeah.
If you want to
Let
give
me
me the
sit.
steps, just kind of
Yeah,
throw that
we'll
aside and
we'll switch.
we'll swap real quick.
Yeah.
We'll just do two of them. Then.
And then we can just do two here. Okay.
Do you want to do this other
So-
one right here or that one?
Both of them, can't we?
Okay, go ahead.
All right. So I've got one down,
Uh-huh.
and we're doing this face up. I'm gonna take my rotary cutter, and you said kind of follow right here
Yes.
on the outside of that seam, so it cuts it off.
Yes.
All right.
So if you didn't hear it the first time, now you get to hear it again.
Now
Yes.
You get to see me do it. This will be fun.
Yeah.
All right. So sleeves first.
Yes.
Okay. And throw those out. Okay. And then I flip it to the side
No.
and do
No,
these.
no, you do the top.
The
Go
top.
ahead and do the tops.
Uh-huh,
Oh,
I
here?
remember
Oh,
that.
this
Nope,
stops,
you
this
just-
stops. I
yeah.
see. Okay. Just up to that.
Mhm.
Okay.
Well, no, you can cut
Oh,
that
all the
off.
way through the
All
top.
the way
Okay.
through the top.
All right. See,
Yep.
I'm learning.
Yeah.
Okay. All the way through the top like that.
Mhm.
Okay. Cool. And then do the same thing over here.
Yes, same thing over
gosh,
there.
My ergonomics are totally off here for me. All right. There we go for that one. Okay. So now.
Then if
I'm
yeah.
gonna turn it to the side.
Mhm.
And then cut off the sides.
Cut off the side.
Okay.
Bring it up.
Okay.
Okay.
Then you separate it.
And then I can take this and keep the excess back just
Yes.
in case
Mhm.
we run into something else. And then at this point, I can take this, and this one has vinyl, so
Yes.
this is a good example.
Yes.
So then I'm gonna take this one over to the press.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
So actually, this goes a little pretty fast once you know what you're doing.
Once
Yes.
you get the process, and I'll be careful not to burn myself on
Yes.
the press.
Let's not burn yourself.
All right, so I lay that up there.
Huh?
I don't have one on the press. I forgot we moved the camera to the sewing machine.
Oh.
I totally forgot that. All right, well, I'll just move this over here, and then we'll press it separately. Pressing's not that we know what pressing looks like, so we're good there.
Yeah.
Just lining this up. So then I would take this once this is on the press,
Mhm.
face down. I'll take the prickly side.
Yep.
And that
You
needs
feel
to
the
be face-
difference in
yeah,
them?
I do feel the difference.
Okay.
Much different. So this has kind of that glue,
Mhm.
and then I can lay that up there.
Mhm. And lay it up to the neckline,
all the way
because
through.
most of the what do you
Most
call?
of those graphics.
Most of the graphics are going to be at least 3 inches from the neck.
Okay.
So you want to get as much as you can at the
Oh.
top,
Okay.
because you have plenty at the bottom.
Right. got
But the
plenty of
top,
shape there.
yeah, the top is what you want to get as much as you can.
Awesome. So then at that point, I would take that on my press,
And
hold
press
it for
it.
about 20 seconds.
Yeah.
And then I can cut it.
Uh-huh.
Okay. So then while Diana's cutting her yellow shirt, I'll press this one.
Okay.
So you get to cut
Alrighty.
your shirt and go through the process one more time.
So we're doing
You want
3
me
of
to-
them so
Yeah,
she
put
can
it
piece them
Okay.
together for you to show you really quick
I'm going to
like how it
squeeze
can
over
look.
on this side. There you go.
Now if I don't know what I'm doing after watching it that many times, I don't need to be doing it, right?
That's why we're here.
That's why you have a sister.
That's true. Okay. And press hard apparently. Oh my goodness.
Doing great. Keep it up.
Well, I'm trying to press hard enough. I think I'm on the spot.
I know.
Okay, now you
Say,
know
Jane, you're gonna boo-boo to me. Yeah.
It's like, stop watching me.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Now sideways.
Mhm.
Probably cutting off a little more than you would, but
No, it's totally fine because you know you're not going to use that that amount.
Yeah.
You can cut that off. It doesn't have to be precise or anything like that.
Watch this. Watch this separate. You ready?
Yeah.
Alright, so
Alrighty.
you get to go to the press.
Okay,
do
and
your
you get to
press
cut.
thing, and I get to cut. Okay, so I've stabilized it, and I cut off my extra stabilizer. So then I get to grab
The 12, yeah,
the
12 and a half.
12-inch one, or 12.5-inch one. And I'm basically trying to center up, am I centering up this graphic, or just kind of wherever it takes you?
It's kind of wherever it takes you.
Okay.
It also depends on the kind of quilt you're doing. If you're doing a perfect square 12 and a half by 12 and a half, then yes, you want to center it.
I see.
If you're doing a collage type of quilt, you can use as much as the top as much as the bottom. So it just really depends on which ones you're doing. So yeah, you can go ahead and center it because the other one's a little bit smaller, and then we'll have a big one, and then we'll have a small one. So yeah.
All right, so just take this. Can I just continue up?
Yep.
Off like that? Cool. Take it this way. Off to the side, keeping those excess pieces just in case. And then you keep it still.
I
here.
usually keep it still and just cut it all the way around.
Okay, all right. So this is where one of those Lazy Susan cutting boards would come in handy?
I do have
see.
a Lazy Susan at home,
Yeah.
so.
That would be, that would come in handy here. Well, slice my arm off doing this, but I get the idea. It's keeping it still. You're not having to worry about replacing it every time. And look at me. Y'all just follow my Etsy store. I'm making t-shirt quilts. All right, I'll put that one off the side, and you get to cut this one.
Okay. Alrighty. Well, we'll cut this real quick, and then you can go over there and show them how to add on some
Sashing. We're going to put some sashing on it.
Okay. Alrighty. So, let's see. Doesn't really matter. I just cut, right? Basically.
Yeah, just put that one all the way up to the neckline. Yeah.
Okay. I'm not as tall as you guys.
I know, it's a little bit of a table.
Working my calves over here. Oh, I guess it doesn't matter. I'm going to go this way. And then this side next, right?
You can cut it however you want to.
Okay. Well, I think I want this one to go up like that. I'm going to line it up to here, like you said to do. It's kind of, is it like centered? No.
More or less. That's when your OCD starts kicking in. It's like, is this center, is that center, is that center?
Yeah.
What? Oh, that was
Best thing I've ever watched in my life.
I'm like doing my leg lifts back here.
The Matrix happening right now. This is great.
Voila!
Beautiful.
Alrighty. Probably not beautiful, but good enough.
I think it's good.
All right, Shelly, let's see how we put these sashings on.
Okay.
All right. So I've got you all set up at the sewing machine. I've got your 3 little pieces over there.
Perfect. So this particular one, we're going to have sashings on it. Let me set these down here.
Oh, you know what? We missed a step because we were so anxious. Normally, the next step you would tell me how to do this would be your design wall, like designing how you want it.
I do.
So we'll go ahead and do that, and then you can talk about that in your tips.
Okay. And I do have those sets right there that kind of. So does this one set up like mine? Is it?
It's all set up with the button, like yours.
Yeah.
And the 1/4-inch foot. Oh, is it on that setting? Probably not. There you go. Now it is.
Okay.
So your stashing strips, talk to us about the size that you're using here, why that's going.
Okay. So what I do is I use 1.5 inch strips is what I do.
Oh, slow. Sorry. I didn't know how loud I was
sorry.
going to be. I didn't know how loud I was going to be. So you're doing 1.5 inch strips on
I do
this.
1.5 inch strips because I've done different sizes and I feel like 1.5 looks the sleekest.
Okay.
Or like the most.
Nice little thin style there.
Yeah, because it's going to end up being 1 inch.
Okay, yeah, with the
After
1/4 inch
doing
allowance
that,
there.
yeah.
Okay. I like that. Just throwing
So,
those on there.
yeah, you can do any size that you want. Just
Yeah.
1.5 is what's worked for me. Because when I do the sashing ones, I tend to do a border, a skinny border around it as well, and then a bigger border.
I see. Okay.
So, and with it being this long, all I do is I just cut this off. So you don't have to pre-cut them out the exact length of the shirt, because a lot of people will cut them out the exact length thinking they need to have it that you really don't.
Just
Like
cut it as
these are longer, and I'll just put it across and then cut it.
Oh, gotcha.
Okay,
So-
perfect.
I tend to do I have a whole long strip, and I cut it as I go.
There you go.
So,
Alrighty. Okay, so next step is to add onto the other t-shirt. Do you add the t-shirt onto that one?
I do.
Okay.
And while you're doing that, we had a question.
Yeah.
Anything different to do when it comes to like sports jerseys? Or are you still stabilizing those the exact same way?
I still stabilize them the exact same way, and I brought some another quilt that has sports jerseys on it,
perfect. Okay.
so you guys
We'll
can
take a
see
look at
them.
that.
Yeah. So I have been able to stabilize everything, any type of fabric, because I do a lot of memory quilts as well, and I've used pajamas, I've used what do you call it, suits, I've used ties,
Gotcha. Okay.
I've used so many different things to make.
If you need to speed that up, you can. I just didn't know how loud it was going to be.
No, it's totally fine. It works. And so after I do that, what I'll do, I didn't cut that one off. That's okay.
Sometimes that thread cutter is a little interesting.
Well, then you add on the next
I
one.
add on the next one.
Okay.
Mhm.
Love that.
Yeah.
And you're just making multiple rows of these at that point.
Pretty much.
I
I
see.
already, as the Dinah was saying, I have a design wall, which I set all of them up on the design wall first, and then I'll take them down from the design wall and start doing this.
Got it. Okay.
Uh-oh, I think that's okay.
Right there.
It's
All right.
my own fault.
Good. This machine always likes to pop the thread on camera.
I
It
know.
works
Nothing.
perfectly when it's not on camera, but when it's on camera, it's like, oh, we're gonna pop the thread this
Like,
time.
we're live.
It's
Let's not.
fine.
Let's just have
do it.
fun.
Yeah, why not? This is what happens when they're at home, though. So this is what they get to see.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does.
How to recover.
There you go.
All right. While she's prepping that last one, any other questions we have right now?
Let's see. The strips that you're using, are you just using cotton?
Yep.
Strips? Yeah.
Just
so
cotton
that's
strips.
a nice cotton sateen is what she's using there.
Yep.
That's a nice one.
Yep.
Are you using t-shirt fabric for the sashing or just a woven fabric?
Um,
You're using the cotton.
the
cotton.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The cottons for it.
Mhm.
Instead of the t-shirt.
I don't use t-shirt fabric for sashing.
Yeah, it just gets a little stretchy.
It
that
does.
way, Yeah.
I know. I'm so busy watching. I'm not
I'm
even
sorry, I'm
talking.
actually really interested.
I know.
I'm
See,
interested about everything. with you,
I'm
but
so
this is
used
really
to
cool.
watching you guys. You guys get to watch me.
It's a little different. A little switcheroo here. I like that thin sashing. When you flipped it over for that first shirt up there,
Yeah.
I like that smaller sashing. That gives it just a nice little
Just as
Yeah.
good
separation.
separation, yeah.
Yeah,
And then
I
once
like
it's
that.
ironed down, too, it
Yeah.
gives it just that perfect.
like that.
Because after I do a row, because I do rows straight down from
Okay.
top to bottom.
Gotcha.
And then I usually do 5 rows within a quilt.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
And it all depends, like if it's going to be just a collage style, like the one that's in the background, or if it's going to have sashing in it, or if it's going to be perfect squares.
Okay.
I'm glad I painted my nails.
A little up close and personal.
I know, right? And obviously, you can go faster on your sewing machine.
You definitely can.
We're just going slow so it's not loud for you, for the user, the watcher, the user, the watcher.
Yeah.
Oh,
And then they can see it better as well.
Yeah.
yeah, it's not giving you sick. You gotta take a Dramamine to watch the show. So.
All right, perfect.
There you go.
All right, let's
So-
go up to the
Perfect.
front and show how quick and easy you did just 3. All righty.
Lay here. Up
Go-
here.
go, just,
Yeah.
just hold it up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
So basically, we just took those 3.
Uh-huh.
She put the sashing in between, and just that was that fast.
I love
how
that.
she did that, right?
Yeah.
Oh, that's super cool. And so if you were doing a bunch of these, it would kind of look like, do we want to bring the quilts in to show what it would look like? And then we can talk tips. We're still
Yeah.
going to talk tips, so pay
I
attention.
totally just walked right through the front of that. Sorry.
So this one right here, yeah. All right, so this one actually, Corey, you want to hold so she can talk? And you
Okay.
so you talk a little bit about this, and this has some different types of quilt shirts on here too, right?
It does. This one has the jerseys on it here. It has the dry fits right here, and then it has regular cotton. All of these have been stabilized, and they're perfect 12.5 by 12.5 squares. So if your customer or you like it this way, this is another way you can do it. And these are 2-inch sashings, which brings it to 1.5. So after doing a couple of different wides of these, I realized I like the 1.5 the best.
Yeah.
So
I like that.
but yeah, so this is what you do for perfect squares. And so normally what I do, just to kind of give you an idea, when you do rows, like I'll have this on my design wall like this, and then I will take this row and sew this row together.
Okay.
And then I go to this row and sew it. So I sew all 4 rows.
Gotcha.
Then I'll go back and put a long sashing in each of them.
I see. Okay.
So, because a lot of times people will do all sashing and then go to the next one. You don't really have to do that. You can do the row and then just do the sashing straight down.
So
Okay.
complete
So
the
nice and
row,
even
add the sashing, and attach.
Yep.
Because from the seam lines here, it looks like you did, this was one
Yes.
row, and then you had one full sashing in between these. I like that.
Yeah.
Cool idea.
That probably makes it faster too, right?
It does. It makes it
Okay.
a lot faster.
Okay. All right, so that would kind of that's kind of what our theory was going here, is just doing some blocks. Let's show this one, then we're going to talk about some tips. So this one was super fun when you brought this in tonight. I was like, oh, I could just wrap up in it. Wait, no, I got to wrap it in it. I have to do the right way.
I
There we go.
I swear we
You
won't
can-
ruin y'all. I promise.
I have to tell you, Summer is the one that gave me this idea. She's the very first quilt that I did when she graduated. And she wanted to have a hoodie in her quilt. So I said, okay, I'll make it happen. And when I did hers, I'm like, I'm going to leave it open so
Yeah.
she could put her hands in there.
Yeah, so if you're sitting on the couch
Yeah.
watching TV, you lay this on and put your hands
Or
in
leave
there.
the remote.
Leave it
Yeah.
I forget where the remote's at all the time. Just
And
throw the remote
that's
in.
super. I just thought that was super
So-
cool. I'm
I
like,
see.
oh, I can keep
And-
my hands warm too, and it's so cold tonight. So I was like, ah, perfect.
And I do the same with the shirts that have pockets on them.
Yeah.
I leave those open as well. Some people stitch over them.
Yeah.
I like to keep them open just to have extra pockets for people to put whatever they want in there.
Fun.
And it's kind of worked out great.
Anyway, so okay, so let's talk tips.
Okay.
So here's a quilt that you have a lot of different things going on.
Okay.
Tell us, like why is there smaller stuff there versus over here? Give us some tips.
Okay, so this is what a lot of people call the collage quilt.
Okay.
And that's where I basically cut them all out in random sizes.
Okay.
And I put them together as a big, huge collage, and then I put borders around them.
Okay.
And so these were pieces that were in front of a shirt.
Okay.
Like this one, that's the front, that's the back.
Got it.
And
so that way
so
you use the whole shirt.
You could use the whole shirt.
Okay.
And what I did with this one is I had a long one here that is obviously longer than the 12 inches that I have here.
Okay.
So I'm like, well, let me put it this way, and then I'll add these 3 to the side and then put the sash in, and it gives me a 12-inch square
Cool.
to make it the exact square that I use.
Okay.
Also, this particular one was actually too small just at the tops because where the arms were.
Okay.
It was too small. So I know you guys can't see it, but there's actually red sashings right here
Oh yeah.
that I just put to match the shirt. So you can still add it and make it into a square, as well.
Yeah. So you just added some cotton over here. So you could do cotton, or you could add some extra T-shirt maybe too.
Yes,
But,
yes, you can do extra T-shirt.
and then you just kind of put it on an angle to add. It actually adds a little bit of dimension too. You don't even realize you know you did it
Yeah.
for a reason, but to me it looks like it was a design choice.
Yeah. And then this one up here is the same way.
Okay.
It was cut like this. It was actually cut really jagged, and so I just added. That one looks sideways, as you
Yeah.
can tell. The O and the S is kind of cut off.
Yeah.
But then this one, I had to add a piece there to make it the 12
Yeah, to
inches
make it-
across, and
Okay.
to bring it down.
I see.
Well,
I
you,
like this.
yeah, and you were telling me about
Oh,
the top, why you had them skinny up there.
these right here.
Yeah, on the very
Okay,
top.
so sometimes when you on the design wall, when I put them up, I have a straight top, and then towards the bottom, it's like this.
Okay.
And so what I do, that's why I keep my extra fabrics, is I use those
Just explain
like
that one more
this.
time. Mhm.
I use it to put in the quilt. So this one I put up here, up at the top.
Your extra
And
pieces.
then I actually have two extra pieces down here at the bottom to make each of the rows the exact same length.
So whether it doesn't matter what size quilt, I mean, what you
What
got
si-
out of the
yeah.
T-shirt, you can use those extra pieces to make it look like it was all part of the collage.
Yep.
That's a good idea. And then I see you have a name up there.
I
do. You put your
do.
names in the quilt?
I do. I hand guide all my quilts. I'm a hand guider.
Yeah.
So I do most of my T-shirt quilts. I do meandering unless it's a sports quilt and they want like basketballs or soccer or footballs. Then
Yeah.
I'll throw that on there
Okay.
with them. And so this is for my adopted daughter, Lisa.
Yeah.
And so I have her name up there at the top.
Fun. So the name, you can put the year in there.
Yes, at the bottom I have the year she graduated, and then I put
fun.
a little personal message in there to her from me.
Oh, cute.
Fun.
So
Love that.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Well, you gave us some really, really great tips. Did we have any other questions or?
Let me watch
Oh
this
wait,
over
there's
Oh.
the one more about
Okay.
the reason why I cut it out.
Oh,
the
yes. Oh, yes,
stabilizing.
yes. Let's show what
So
not to do.
This is what you do not do.
That's right. These are the not to do tips.
Okay.
See, it's a good thing you're on target. I had it written down and I totally skipped past it.
This is someone that brought me pre-cut. I didn't do it. Do I need to put them up? Pull
there.
them
Over
up.
there. Yeah.
Oh, right here?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. So someone that brought me pre-cut squares already.
Mhm.
So with that, I actually had to cut this out and then make sure I had to iron this one with the regular iron. I couldn't use my press because I didn't want this to get stuck.
Right.
So I have to iron these all down separately.
Gotcha.
And so if
So yeah, that's what you were describing before.
Yes.
Is how why you leave it all open before you cut it so it doesn't do this. That's a good example.
Yes.
Okay. Cool.
And then, as you can tell, all this extra stuff I don't waste any of it. I actually keep it. I say it's wasted. Some people, if they see it, they'll just cut it and toss it to the side. I actually keep it because there is times that you'll just need a little piece
Right.
and use that
That's
stabilizer
what I
for
keep
that
going
little
for
piece.
it, yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
I repurpose everything that I can so
Yeah.
I can use everything that I have.
Perfect.
And so here's another one right here that
Yeah.
was done that same way. So I brought those so you guys can see this is what it looks like if you already pre-cut them.
Yeah. So so what we've learned is bring a pile of
Yeah.
T-shirts.
The moral of the story is
Don't cut them. If you're giving it to somebody, if you're doing it yourself, now you know. But if you're giving it to somebody, bring your pile. Just say here, do your magic.
Yeah, that's what most people tell me to do.
So that's what we learned. Well, thank you so much.
You're
Corey,
welcome.
was there any questions? So we can let Chantelli go.
Someone asked, what about shirts with rhinestones?
Oh, that's a good
Yeah.
one. You probably used
I
that.
have
Okay.
done that too. You do everything the same way, and as a hand guider, you go around the rhinestones.
So when you're quilting, you just go around it. But when it comes to stabilizing and piecing it, it's all
It's
the
all the
exact same thing.
exact
All the
same
same.
thing.
Cool.
Okay.
I like that.
Yep.
Cool.
Other than that, I've got no more questions for you. Everyone's kind of just in awe learning about your techniques, so they love that. So we just want to thank you so much for being with us here at After Hours. We really
Yay.
appreciate it.
Well,
Yeah.
thanks for having me. I
Yeah.
really enjoyed this. Is something I love doing. I like doing T-shirt quilts because I get to know the person
Yeah.
that I'm
Memories
doing
in
them
it.
for.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
And so I get to know all about them. So by the time they get it, we actually have this whole conversation about the quilt. So I love it.
Yeah.
Amazing. Well, we want to, again, thank you so much for being with us. And I know we've got you planned for a few more things in the future, so we'll let
Yes.
everyone see what that's going to be about when that comes in.
Yay.
All right. Well,
Awesome.
thank you. We'll send you off. And
Okay, I'll go
Yeah,
this
who's
way.
got a hook? There we go. Tight back here with all these quilts and everything. So what did y'all think? I
That
thought
was
that
so
was
fun.
super cool. I had
You
a
know what?
really fun
I have
time.
never seen it done,
Yeah.
and because I've never just watched it, and I've never watched her do it, and I've never seen it done, because it was always intimidating.
Yeah.
I always thought that's going to be way hard,
Right.
way too much work for me. Anyway.
And so now you're going to do it.
And so now I'm like, I can do this.
All right, everyone, hold her to it. She just
No,
said it on
I
camera
think-
in front of a lot of people watching.
I think, this is something that we could do. We should do one together. Do a collab quilt. We will. We are going to do that. We are going to
Okay.
do an after hours
An after hours collab
collab
t-shirt quilt.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Works for me.
Now we have to make a lot more T-shirts. There goes the
Oh, you want to
cricket.
make more of these?
Well,
I
no,
thought I was
like
going to do random t-shirts.
no, it's gonna be an after hours one. It has to have. So we'll
I
do different colors,
see.
different segments. We'll put pictures in. Oh, I have a whole good plan.
Thank you so much.
And anyway, that's just
Alrighty.
super cool. Now that you see, so with that all being said, if I can do this, you guys definitely can do this.
Definitely.
Because you saw
Um,
me
just
like
gave
doing
us tips.
acrobats.
That was,
So
that was
yeah,
a whole lot easier than I thought it was going to have to be, so that's awesome.
yeah, I can't wait. Okay,
So what do we have planned next week?
What do we have planned next week? It's going to be a surprise.
You don't know what we have planned next week.
Yeah, I do.
What do we have planned? Tell me. Ah, that's what we have planned next week. Okay, it's going to be a surprise. It's a good one. You'll definitely want to tune in next week as well to see what we've got.
Yes.
So, are we missing any tidbits? Anything at all? Do we have anything left? Let's
No,
see.
I don't think so. So then, so just so you know, the name of her company was Shoshana Lace Creations. You can find her on Facebook if you want to go and look at all the different quilts and designs that she's done in the past and check them out. You can ask her questions. If you have, she can throw you some tips on there too. So definitely go check that out.
Yeah, the link to her Facebook page will be in the description below after we go live. It just has to wait to post it, so we'll throw it in there for her Facebook page, so you can definitely take a look at that. We had a couple questions about stabilizer again. The stabilizer can be found on our website, longarmsupplies.net. It is 99 cents a yard while supplies last.
Yes.
While supplies last. But we've got it. We're ready to get it all shipped out to you, so you can have some and make some of these cool t-shirt quilts too.
Yeah, it's just so it's going to be fusible interfacing is what it's called.
Yep. Alrighty. Well, thank you all so much for joining us here at After Hours. We'll see you next Thursday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time.
Bye.
Bye.